Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, I'm going to pull up this screen. All right, Jordan Gainey has committed to our basketball team. We're going to talk about him a little bit. Harrison Bailey, former Vol, has found himself a home. He's been in the transfer portal now. I guess it's his second time after leaving Tennessee. And the NCAA starts tomorrow, the hearing between Pruitt and, of course, the Vols. So there's always a lot of news pertaining to the Vols, and we're going to get right into all these three issues. And let's start out with the commitment of this shooting guard. And he's actually the son of a Tennessee basketball assistant. He plays at USC Upstate. Committed today. He announced it on social media. He is 6'4", and he was on the All Big South All Freshman team. And as a freshman, he started all 32 games, and he really played well. He shot 47% from the floor and 49% from three-point line and 81% from the free throw line. So he's a great free throw shooter as well. Now, last year he scored more points, but he didn't shoot quite as well, almost 40% from the floor and 34% from three. Good defensive player, a lot of steals, and he's got good height at 6'4". And I know they're trying to get a power forward to replace Olivier. And they're talking to a Harvard forward that a lot of people are high on and a guy out of Northern Colorado. And then it talks about the fact we're in a state of flux. I was surprised Olivier left and turned pro, although he may want to go to Europe. You know, that's where he's from, France, I believe. So that makes sense. We're still waiting to hear on Triple J, Euros, and Santiago. We're hoping Vescovi stays, and I'd like to see James stay too.
Stay as long as you can. For the love of God. Cherish it.
Euros, look, man, he's very serviceable. And then Julian Phillips, so I'd like to see him stay and try to get his offense going. The guy's very talented. I'm really wondering if that hip flexor played a significant role. I don't see him going in the first round in the NBA. So to turn pro wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to me, because if you get picked in the second round, there's no guaranteed money in that. And he could stay here and get himself well and get back in that first round where he needs to be. The guy has definitely got the talent to be in the first round. He's just got to start, playing like he did the first half of the season before he got injured. So with Ziegler will be back next year. That'll be our point guard. And this will be a good shooting guard, which is really the position he needs to play. If Vescovi plays, then you've really got a perfect backup for Vescovi, a shooting guard who could give Vescovi some time. And they still need a point guard, and I don't know whether they're going to rely on the freshman who redshirted this year or if they're going to go and find a point guard. I'm not sure exactly where we are on that. I guess that's in flux. Now, as far as Harrison Bailey is concerned, this is a guy that was a five-star when he committed, and I believe he committed to Pruitt, and he never really took off. He played some, but he never really got going and really took over. And he struggled ever since. And then he transferred out after Pruitt got fired. And it says here he's transferring to UNLV. So hopefully he gets his career back on track, because, this guy was a big-time get back in the day, and every team in the country wanted him. Like I said, he actually reached five-star status there at one point, but never really took it to the next level. And that happens. High school is one thing where you're the top dog, and your confidence is as high as it's going to get. You come in into the SEC and get slapped around a little bit, and all of a sudden that confidence can wane, to say the least. And that's, he might have been better off if he'd gone to a smaller school to begin with. But, we'll see what happens with him. But, I wish him well. I have no ill feelings towards him at all. And lastly, let's talk about the NCAA a little bit. It starts tomorrow, and it's going to be very interesting. Pruitt in the same room with all the Vol people, the university folks. And they're finally going to get in front of the NCAA, and I'm sure they're going to get in there and question them and rip into them is what I would expect. I feel like Pruitt's probably going to be gone after pretty hard by the NCAA.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
I don't really know what the Vols can really argue at this point, other than we've done everything you've asked us to do. Why are you even trying to punish us more? And I think everybody realizes that if they do, there will be no more cooperation from any university whatsoever, because there's no point. If Ole Miss got a bowl ban and 13 scholarships, and they give us a bowl ban and 12 scholarships, whether it's 1 year or two or whatever, you might as well just do what Ole Miss did, because it doesn't make any difference if you cooperate. Also, the bylaw that states very clearly that to the greatest extent possible, the NCAA will not punish student athletes that are not involved. So if they punish those student athletes that from 3 years ago, that are none of them are on the team anymore, and they punish these kids, then that bylaw is a joke. That bylaw is a total joke and means nothing.
Nothing will stop us now. With our combined powers of evil, we must pledge to wipe out the Super Friends.
So I see the Vols fighting the failure to monitor, and we've discussed this before. But, you know, if they're willing to compromise and just hit them with some scholarships, I think they'll take that and be fine. But if they try to hit them with a bowl ban, it's going to get real ugly real fast. And I can tell you right now, if I'm a university president, there'll be no cooperation in the NCAA from this point forward on anything. Your best thing to do is just lawyer up. Just lawyer up to the max and don't cooperate and just to heck with it, because they're going to punish you either way. Why give them the evidence? Why hand them the club for them to beat you over the head with? So hopefully the NCAA will have enough sense and realize that. And if they do get sued, let's say they do a bowl ban and they get sued and it gets appealed and all that, if they were to somehow lose, man, NCAA is in big trouble, because then they don't have any power. Now, granted, it's risky to sue the NCAA because that opens up another can of worms. But on the other hand, if they're just going to knock the crap out of you, there's nothing wrong with fighting them at that point. So anyway, I'm glad to see that the Vols picked up a nice commitment, a good shooting guard. Guy can hit his free throws, and looks like he's a good shooter from three-point line. Harrison Bailey found himself a home. I wish him well. And we'll be watching that NCAA very closely and see what they do. I'm sure we'll get some sort of report from it, but it'll probably be back channel stuff. I don't see, the NCAA or the university coming out and giving a formal statement. But we'll probably hear a few things over the next few days as this comes out. And I especially maybe Jeremy Pruitt's people will say something. Who knows? They may want to leak something negative out. But we'll keep up with it. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. And if you've not subscribed, it's right here on the left. Just hit this little button. I would appreciate it. It helps me out. Doesn't cost you a penny. And right over here is my most recent video. Be sure to check that out. And we'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.